Said like reviews.
All righty. So today we're here to discuss how to make your temporary job a permanent job. How to make that impression that will land you that next full-time position. Now, before we get started, do want to make sure that all mics are on mute, and please type any questions into the chat box. Please message us your email. That way we can receive a copy of your that way we can email you a copy of your certificate of completion. So feel free to put that in the chat whenever you are able to, along with your name. That way we can reach out to you, send you your certificate of completion, which can help as a resume boost as well. All righty. So the topics we'll be covering today are: what is a temp to hire, the benefits of a temp to hire, how to find a temp to hire position, and the moment you've all been waiting for, tips on how to become a permanent employee. Oh yeah, I know that's what you're here for. Absolutely. But I did want to provide a brief introduction here. My name's Tim Fulton, and I am the president at Unified Achievement Group. I direct agency operations and collaborate with our administrative, recruiting, and sales team to establish any of the company's strategies and goals. And the reason I'm here is for changing lives. That's the most rewarding part. And now I do want to use this platform to give back to the actual backbone of this firm, which is our team members. Without you all, there is no Unified Achievement Group. So we do want to ensure we're providing the proper support and holding ourselves accountable there. All righty. So how to make your temp job permanent. More than 90% of companies use staffing services to assist with their hiring. It is very common for a candidate or potential job seeker to start with a company through a staffing agency. Some firms may refer to this position as temps, temp to hire, or contract to hire. This helps the company in a variety of ways, which is why it's so common. Its most important benefit is that it improves workforce production. So keep that in mind. You're there to help improve workforce production. So you're not just a number. So what exactly is a temporary to hire position? What is it? A temp to hire is one in which an individual is hired for a short or temporary term, which could be days, weeks, or months. At the end of this period, the employee is eligible for a full-time permanent position. The employer, however, has the option to not hire you on permanently. However, as it is no guarantee. It's not guaranteed you'll be hired on permanent. However, if you stay tuned for the tips, I'll show you how to make it a little more locked in for you, because we do want to ensure we're providing you the best support. All right. So what is the benefits of a temp to hire position? Are there benefits? If there are, what are they? I'm sure everyone's kind of wanting to know. Maybe not, I'm not sure. But although, it may not be the permanent role you were seeking, there are benefits to working as a temp employee. A temp is your on-the-job interview. Any temp to hire job, contract to hire job, that's your on-the-job interview. Take full advantage of it. It provides you the opportunity to display to your employer your skill set and how you can be an added benefit to the team. It also allows the employee to get a feel, and that's you, get a feel for the company culture and decide if it's a good fit for yourself. Because you may, check things out and see this is not really for you. So, you don't want to feel like you're in a position where you're at the point of no return. So attempt to hire position can kind of help you get a feel for the company, see if that's something you want to do, especially if you're in transition from maybe another industry. and you just kind of want to feel things out first before you dive in. So definitely some benefits there. Keep that in mind. But I must say, and if you look around, you'll see, I'm sure if you're checking out Indeed and other job postings, that temp to hire positions are becoming more and more popular in a variety of industries. And that's call centers, light industrial, manufacturing, and of course, customer service. And some companies have positions that you can only get hired on through a temp service. I'm sure some of you may have ran into that before. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure one of you out there has. So some may be asking, how do you find a temp job, a temp to hire job? And it's kind of simple, straightforward. But what you need to do is apply for a temp to hire position. And you can easily do that with a staffing or recruiting agency. Be sure to find one that is specializing in the industry of your choice and apply directly on their website. So, the moment you've all came into the classroom for tips for making the temp job permanent. We all want to be permanent if we're not permanent. We want to get the added benefits and support and everything that comes along with it. I understand. And that's why we're here to provide some tips. And there are a number of things you can do to turn your temporary job into a permanent full-time position. So we will be discussing a few tips on how we can get that done to land that new job. So tip number one is treat every day like it's a job interview. Everyone should be on their best behavior on a job interview to ensure you do land the job. That's the point, right? And your mindset should be the same if you're a temp associate. The same. And that's every day that you report to work. So from day one, you should be seeking to make the first great impression to show that you have what it takes to be a permanent employee. And you want to make that great first impression every day of that assignment. So if it's a 30, 60, or 90-day assignment, every day should be like your first day. Your best behavior, dress wise, attitude wise, behavior wise, punctual from breaks, the whole 9 yards. You want to make sure you're bringing that to the table every day. And the key is having that mindset on repeat throughout the duration. That's the most challenging part, but that is the most mindful part, or the part you need to be mindful of most is every day, every day. Tip number two, be visible. It's hard for an employer to know if you're a good fit permanently if they're unaware of you and your performance. Be sure to go above and beyond your assignment by coming in early, staying late, and yes, accepting and or volunteering for overtime. If you finish a task ahead of time, ask leadership if there's anything else that can be done before you head out for a break or before you leave for the day. Also, because it is important, prior to leaving for the day, always ask team leader, leadership, or whomever they have you reporting to, is there anything else that's needed to be done before I leave? This will ensure that you're being visible to leadership as well as your team members. And that leaves a long lasting impression that you're invested for the long haul. Tip number three, and very important, follow company policies. You want your employer, you want leadership to know that you take this job seriously. And how well you follow the rules is a great way to demonstrate this. Be sure you follow along closely in orientation to determine what policies you need to follow in order to be compliant. Figure out the dress code, the PPE requirements, emergency contacts, and HR representatives. Be sure you are following the policies of the staffing and recruiting agency that hired you as well, because they do act on your behalf and can recommend you to be a full-time permanent employee. So be sure never, if you don't remember anything else on this particular portion, never dress more casual than those that are there. So, if you're in a call center and everyone's wearing polos and khakis, and you come into work with a tank top and shorts, is probably going to make a bad impression and show that you're not invested in being with the company long term. It's those minor things, those small details that can help you stand out and help ensure that you are, getting a fair shot at being a permanent full-time employee. As for tip number 4, you want to get to know the company. Look up as much as you're able to about the company to demonstrate your investment in the job. Know your company's history, its earning reports, its key clients, and its culture and mission. Being knowledgeable about and demonstrating concern for the future of the company will let leadership know that you're in it for the long haul. You'll be able to find information on the company's website with a quick Google search. And you can go ahead and check their social media pages. LinkedIn is a great networking tool, or a great tool just to find out updates as it pertains to what the company has going on, current event wise, and so forth. Number 5, learn as much as you can. You want to demonstrate to leadership that you're eager to learn and can learn quickly. Even if there is a task that may be a little out of your scope, or not all that related to your position, but something that may be needed to done. Sometimes with cross training, they have you doing other departments or helping sell, cross selling for other departments. Sometimes you just want to make sure you do take that time out to learn it, and that will allow you to stand out when it comes time to make that decision if you'll be hired permanently or not. So take out the time to learn all the nuances, any particular thing that can set you aside from others when it comes to temp to hire position. You want to make sure that leadership is able to see your added benefit and asset to the team. So you do have to separate yourself from your peers. And that's performance wise, not, temper tantrum type wise. Tip number 6, networking. You want to make sure you network. Begin building relationships with your team members day one. Do not be afraid to introduce yourself on lunch, breaks, and so forth. Of course, ensure the conversations are productive. Get to know your team members as soon as you can. Get to know leadership and get familiar with them as soon as you can. Take time to chat with them during breaks. Take time to develop relationships during lunch. Ensure your coworkers or team members can see that you are punctual, team oriented, and have a strong work ethic. Try not to shy away from volunteering to help your colleagues with any projects or tasks. Go ahead, volunteer, make yourself visible. It's going to help. You always want to do what you can to separate yourself from the other team members who are also trying to be hired on permanent. You want to make sure that you are able to stand out and show how you are able to be an asset. And here we are, tip number 7, and very, very, very critical. Be patient. I'm sure you've heard patience is a virtue, and that can be very true in most cases, and no different here. I know it. I know it. I know it. Many times it may seem as if the staffing agency or the company itself is pushing off your full time job offer. However, I can assure you, in many times, that's not the case. Many full time offers are made based on production and the company's needs, and those both change daily and a number of times throughout the day. So try to avoid asking leadership whether or not you'll be hired on full time for right out the gate. That's probably not a good look, that your first, impression is, well, when can I get hired on? That's probably not the best look. So I would, encourage you to take a different approach, as many companies do perform or conduct performance reviews and do check-ins with their team members. And I would say, as a best practice, utilize those moments to ask leadership for your full-time status. And again, upon completion of assignments, there may be a performance evaluation or even an interview in which you and leadership discuss your performance, dedication, and future at the company. And at that time, you'll want to ensure you demonstrate your interest in the permanent position and reassure leadership on how you have been an asset to the company. Reassure them that, I come in early to learn the position. I leave late. I always ask before I head out for any break, lunch, what type of personal break, any type of break that I have, I ensure that all my tasks are completed before I leave. And that will ensure and reassure them, and that's leadership, that is, that you're invested, which is what you're needing to be able to sell yourself on why it is that you want to be a permanent full-time position. So I hope these tips were helpful and can get you an inch closer to being able to, get where you need to go in life and accomplish those goals you're looking to tackle. But I do appreciate your time and you all checking out our workshop. We'll have more courses to come, so feel free to subscribe for more. But again, for your certificate of completion, definitely drop that email. That way we can reach out and send that to you. Also, be sure to check out any other career center resource guide materials that you are interested in, and bring your friends and family along with you. But again, thank you much, and subscribe for more. Looking for an all-in-one help guide for your career advancement?